What's going on, melon farmers? D-Mac here with another little video. I just wanted to make a little video. These are some of the things that I would be looking for in the new NHL 21 Be a Pro. I know a lot of people are making these videos, and I just decided, if everybody else is doing it, what the hell? I'll just do it myself as well. So anyway, one of the first things that I would be looking for is an interactive agent. You have to have an interactive agent, someone that you can go to and be like, okay, I'm loyal to this team. I want like a max deal. I want to stay. Like, say you got drafted by like your favorite team. I know the odds are kind of stacked against you to get drafted by your favorite team, but imagine if you did. Like, my favorite team is the Chicago Blackhawks. If I got drafted by the Blackhawks, I'd be like, okay, on my last year of my entry level contract, I'd like to be able to like go to my agent and be like, hey, this is my favorite team. I want to stay here forever. And then have your agent come to you and be like, okay, so how much money do you think you're worth? And then you have the ability to see like the salary cap and how much money your team has, what your team is going to need in the off season if maybe you're on a bit of a rebuilder or something like that, or if you're on a genuine contending team a couple of years in, it's like, yeah, there would have to be some kind of like minimum amount you would be able to take based on your overall. You should have some say in it, not just like you got two offers from two teams, nobody cares, nobody wants a power forward anymore, or something stupid like happens in NHL 20 all the time. All the time you get like a 2-year deal worth $15 million a year. Your team needs a top four defenseman, so they get four 39-year-old goaltenders and they sign them for 5 years apiece for some reason. And then you got a pen and a paper and you're sitting there going over all the contracts on your team and you're like, our starting lineup costs $187 million. No, I think that'd be a big thing. So you could look at your salary cap and be like, hey, we got like $12 million to play with, but we need a top four defenseman. Your minimum you'd be able to take, if say you're like 90 overall, is like 6 million is the minimum you could take. And if you took 6 million, maybe like your general manager, your coach, everybody, they look at you favorably because you just took a max deal for not a maximum amount of money. You know what I mean? A lot of people, well, there was a lot of people online that were talking to me on like Reddit and on Facebook and stuff. They're like, well, that's stupid. What a stupid thing to say, because then everyone's going to take an 8-year deal worth 1 million a year, and their team's going to be just like beast mode. That's what you have to have, like a minimum amount that you can take based on your overall. If you're 95 overall and you're a franchise player, it's like the minimum you can take, it have to be like 9 million. That way it's kind of realistic in that sense. Or you could, if you were to say something like, oh, I'm the best player in the entire world, I'm going to take an 8-year deal worth 1 million a year, and the team would be like, no, we're not doing that. Like, no, we can't pay you 1 million a year. We have to pay you're not doing the market any favors by doing that. But that would be one of the main things, is just an interactive agent. Another thing is when you're in the minors and you're coming up in the minors, like the OHL, the WHL, the QMJHL, hopefully other places like the US, maybe in Europe or something if you wanted to, you have to be able to see the National Hockey League. You have to be able to view stats. You have to be able to view contracts and stuff, and not just go to your message board and see hockey analyst tweeted, what a game by Teravainen, 5-point night, hashtag point night. If it's your draft year, I think they should set it up a lot like franchise mode, where you can view the draft class. You can see yourself in the draft class, where you currently stand. Maybe your potential is kind of like fog of war. Your potential has like question marks on it. And as the year goes on and more scouting reports come in, you can see your potential a little better. And that could have something to do with where you're going to fall on draft day. It's like, a couple times a year. It wouldn't be, every 10 games they go like somewhere in the first few rounds. And then 10 games later they go, oh, somewhere in the first few rounds. And then it's like you're 50 games into the season, they're like, you're going to be a top 3 pick. And then 10 games later, they're like, you're going to be a first round pick. And then as soon as the draft comes, we project you'll be in the top 30 or the top 25 or something. It's like, oh my God, man, where am I going? If you could actually view the draft class based on like scouting reports and stuff like that, you would have a better idea of where you were going to go in the draft, like a normal NHL prospect where you kind of already know where you're going to go, right? And then as soon as you get near the draft, you can view the standings in the National Hockey League and you can be like, okay, so I think if I'm supposed to go like 11th overall or 9th overall, based on the standings, these couple of teams, this is kind of where I think I'm going to end up. And you could look at that team and be like, what do they need? Oh, maybe, yeah, this team could really use me. That would be a really interesting fit. They got this guy and this guy and this guy signed to contracts. This could be a lot of fun, because every single NHL prospect or OHL player or even NHL player, no matter what, every single one of them has one thing in common: internet access and a cell phone. I could go on Cap Friendly right now and I can tell you every single cap hit for every single player that has pretty much ever played hockey ever. And I can view their career stats. Now, I'm not even a prospect in the National Hockey League and I can do that. It's like, come on, man. You have to give us access to information. That's one of the biggest things, access to information. And if I'm part of that information, I should definitely have access to it. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say for today. Those are just my opinions on what I'm hoping to see. Some of, maybe a couple of things here. Some of the things I would love to see in the NHL 21 expanded Be a Pro. If you agree with any of this, leave a like, leave a comment. Tell me, give me some things that maybe you guys would like to see in the new Be a Pro. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. There's new videos coming all the freaking time. And until next time, you beautiful melon farmers, have a good one.